beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this BA Day, September 23rd, 2025. This program begins right now. Football! Hit! Ladies and gentlemen, that's a man who coached football for 47 years. Bruce Arians is here. Coach BA, good to see you. Can't wait for another edition of BS or No BS with BA about the NFL's headlines. Another headline was added last night as we saw a team be the brand new version of itself yet again. We thought this Lions team, after losing Ben Johnson, who was the belle of the ball, the super genius on the offense, and Aaron Glenn, the absolute dog that was running the Detroit Lions defense, as they had this resurgence back to relevancy and being a good football team for the first time maybe in forever. Less than 2 minutes left, though, okay? Whenever 156, you're up one score at the 50 damn near, okay? 4th and 2, 156. This is one of those ones that Dan Campbell calls that nobody else really does. People that love going for it on 4th down, even in this situation, would be like, Lamar Jackson, 49 going in, we're up touchdown right now.
No thanks.
This feels like we should maybe just go ahead and try to get a stop. But on that same note, Lamar Jackson, are we going to be able to get a stop? Minute 46 left anyways. And MCDC says, let's go for it. Not only do they run it with Sonic and Knuckles, guys are incredible. Okay, there you got a great run game. They throw this thing, and it's not an easy throw. This is Jared Goff dropping it in a bucket with under 2 minutes to Amon-Ra St. Brown, their star wide receiver who, if you listen to Troy talk about him last night, he does everything right, everything. He's not a diva at all. He works hard, he blocks, he does everything you ask him. And it's like the Detroit Lions win because this is how the Detroit Lions play football. It is quite a no-risk-it, no-biscuit operation up there. And it feels like Lions fans woke up this morning a lot more confident than they had for the rest of the NFL season. Is that accurate, Foxy?
Spot on, Pat. I'll tell you what, in the MCDC era, that was the best regular season win we have had by far and away. We were able to run the ball. All right, Monty and Gibbs, both 2 touchdowns each, over 200 yards rushing. And then on defense, we were somehow able to stop Lamar. 7 sacks. Before this game, when I said we had a game between Jared Goff and Lamar Jackson, and one of them is going to get sacked 7 times and the other is going to get sacked 0 times, I would have bet $10 billion that it was Jared Goff getting sacked 7 times. Instead, this defense stepped up. Calvin Shepard stepped up. It was amazing. And last but not least, we stopped Derrick Henry. Hutch, punch, out of there.
Geez.
Huge game changer right there. I love everything about it. It was amazing, and the Lions are all the way back.
I love to hear that passion and excitement, Foxy. Good for you, good for Lions fans. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the embodiment of the next generation of coaching, I think. He's already a guy that's been put onto Coach Bruce Arians' top 3 coaches in the entire NFL. He's won the Coach of the Year. He's turned around an operation and a program to make us all believe that anybody could play quarterback for his team and they'd win. Ladies and gentlemen, the living legend, I'd say, former quarterback, got cut before he could sit down in a Jets building. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, Coach.
How you doing, dude?
I'm doing well. You're about 6 feet away from a living legend there, right to your right.
Coach BA, absolutely. You're 100% right. And on that note,
there he is right there.
He thinks you're on your way, brother. He's a very big fan of yours. I don't know if you've got a chance to hear that. Do you know Coach BA at all, KO?
I got a chance to shake his hand, when I was a younger coach, and he was rolling there in Tampa. Always been a huge fan, obviously going back a long time watching his offenses play. But the side of it that he's talking about, I got a chance to hear some of what you guys were just talking about. He's a standard setter for winning culture, whether it's now 2025 or going back a long way. Got nothing but respect for Coach.
Well, that's the same here, brother. I love what you're doing, and I think you could coach anybody to play quarterback except me. I went 2 games without completing a pass.
Okay. Well, I think that would not happen with KO. Let's talk.
He might have to fix me.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're calling your own plays, you might have been a little bit better. But how do you come up with the messages, and why do you think you communicate the way you do? Is it kind of following somebody else that you've seen or played for?
Yeah, I think the one thing I learned after all these years, and whether it was being a rookie around, Coach Belichick, getting to win a Super Bowl with Sean McVay, there was a lot of great coaches in between along that journey of being a player and a coach. I could not do this job unless I was me, just authentically me. every single day. I think it'd be awfully hard to try to be somebody else and then try to handle the moments of adversity while you're playing the part of somebody else. That just seems like an impossible task. So what I've tried to do is just figure out the principles of who I want our organization to be, and then I want to consistently be the version of that for our guys, so that they never have to wonder who they're going to get in front of them. They never have to question the authenticity of the message. They know it comes from a place that is in the best interest of them, both as players and as people, and ultimately about growth and development of everybody, me included. That's probably the best way to answer it. I would say that the messaging post-game is authentic and as real as it gets, because I really do not think about any of those things before I go in there. And it's more about making sure I acknowledge the people that had performances that day that led us to winning football games. Many times it goes back to conversations one-on-one with the player, like a Christian Darrisaw throughout the week of, hey, I envision handing you a football after this game and saying how proud I am of you and what you mean to me and what you mean to this organization, the journey you've been on post-injury. That's where we're going. Let's figure out how we're going to get there throughout the week is what I believe the formula to doing that is. You can't be one without the other. That wouldn't be coaching. That would just be motivational speaking at that point. You got to be able to fulfill your obligation as a coach to then back it up with the messaging that you have. And I do it all through the lens of, as a former player I never really thought I reached my truest potential, and it wasn't a coach's fault, but it was more of a mindset of me, allowing my mind to worry and focus on things that were outside of my control. So I'm constantly trying to be that voice for our guys to allow them to focus on the present, focus on what actually matters to help them win football games. And through that process, you build unbelievable relationships. I'm sure Coach can attest to this, is what he probably looks back on the fondest is just the relationships on an individual level with players. Even in this day and age with the dynamic of, the college level that these players come from, guys, like you can still form relationships that matter. You can still form things that will glue together your team in a way that allows you to handle the ups and downs of an NFL season. And it's my favorite part of the job, if I'm being honest with you.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a breaking of news for the New York Football Giants. Jaxson Dart will be starting for the New York Football Giants going forward. Daboll was non-committal at first to who was going to be a starter. Now Jaxson Dart, the future of the New York Giants, will be wearing the starter helmet. Congratulations to Jaxson Dart. Congratulations to the Giants fans who I think were wanting this. Not just because of a fourth down in the fourth quarter whenever you need it in the red zone, throwing the ball off the bottom of the upright and throwing it away, but also because if we're 0-3, why the hell would we not want to see what the future looks like? Well, the immediate comment is the schedule is not great to have him start. They don't have a bye until like week 14 or something like that.
Yep.
Then you look at the schedule and it's like, well, their division's tough, so they're going to have to play tough teams regardless. Mm-hmm. But boy, some of these are tough. You obviously have to take on an incredible Chargers team. Who's the DC?
Jesse Minter.
Then you get a chance to go down to the Saints in your second start, which is good, down in the Superdome, but this might be positive with the DC.
It's Brandon Staley.
Okay, so we got one game before we head down to the Saints, and then immediately afterwards, Eagles, Denver, Eagles, San Francisco, Chicago.
There it is.
Who knows what they are? Green Bay, Detroit, New England, bye. Okay, so that run is not going to be easy for any quarterback. But now for a rookie quarterback getting his first start with this particular New York Giants team, Coach B.A., what are your thoughts on dropping him in there? Is there ever a right time to put a rookie quarterback in? Is that a real thing? And how do you think this kind of fares, and how do you think they got to this decision?
Yeah, I definitely think it was time to drop the clipboard. All right, start getting the reps in practice, start playing. I think that his legs can add so much to that offense. Now, be smart and slide. You don't have to show how tough you are.
Mike Gundy fired from Oklahoma State football. We'll say, Mike, hell of a run.
Yeah, love you, Mike.
I don't know if that's how you're supposed to immediately respond to somebody being announced to be firing, saying, hey, it was a hell of a run. This one seemed like it was on the horizon for a little bit. Let's go to Hammer. Don. Felt like this was being like talked about a little bit. I didn't know if it was actually going to happen. Anytime a coach is at a place for so long and becomes the institution, obviously making this type of move requires a lot of people saying yes to, and then also how you handle it, how the rollout is obviously a big part of the deal. Tone, did we expect this out of Oklahoma State? I don't know,
because like what you said, he's been there for 21 years, and before last season, he only had one losing season in those 20 years, and that was his first season. And then his second losing season was obviously last year when they were disappointing. They brought back 20 starters. They brought back Ollie Gordon, like they were supposed to potentially win the Big 12 last season. Things have not gone well the last 2 years. Obviously, the disappointment of last year, and then this year losing by 70 or whatever to Oregon, and then losing to Tulsa last week. It was going to happen at some point. I didn't know if they'd let him maybe walk away, keep a position at the university because of how long he's been there or whatever, but it just got to a point where it seemed like it had to happen. But being there for 21 years and two losing seasons in 21 years, incredible run at Oklahoma State, and it's tough to see him go out like
what
this.
have you done for me today is what the world is. But it is a hell of a run. I'll be excited to see what they do next. He becomes the third college football coach that has been fired. How are you? How's it feel to be back over there? How's it feel to be a part of the Harbaugh culture fully? How is life for you right now, being back home? Is that kind of how you feel?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Great. Happy to be back in the building. The Harbaugh, effect is live and in effect, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Okay, tell me about the Harbaugh effect a little bit. Obviously, we've heard stories. Everybody has shared stories in it. But is it every single day, every single meeting, every single encounter? Is that why every player that plays for him respects him? Inevitably, I don't think I've ever heard anybody that doesn't play for him, that has played for him, doesn't respect him. Is that why? Because it's all the time?
Yeah, 100%. There's no light switch. There's on and off. There is none of that. It's always on. He's always on go mode, and he's always trying to find ways to win the game, and that's what it's about.
What do you see out of Herbert this year, maybe that hasn't been seen in the past? He looks special right now. Obviously, everybody has had these high hopes for him. I think Darius Butler actually became a Chargers fan because of Justin Herbert and the possibilities. What have you seen out of him since coming back to the Chargers that makes you feel like, oh, we got a special guy here?
I think he's always been special. I think just being able to, bring it to life and win the games. Early on, when I was here, it was kind of hard for us to win those tough games at the end of the game. But now you see us, making the plays, making the game-winning drives, and giving ourselves a shot to win the game. And that's all hats off to Herbo. Doing what he does, being great. He's unbelievable back there.
He's fun to watch, man. Go ahead, AJ.
What's Herbert like, I guess, when cameras aren't? We see how he handles the media. I think it's very funny. I love how he handles himself. Yeah. What's he like, I guess, in the huddle, day in, day out at practice? We've seen a little bit of mic'd up with him, but not too much. Is he seems like a guy that the gel that holds everybody together, it feels like.
Yeah, 100%. He's a people's guy. He's one of the guys in the locker room. We can talk to him. He's always there with us, there for us. Joking around, stuff like that in the huddle. He's Herbo. He's running the show. Everybody he has that aura where you shut up and listen when he walks in there. So that's always good from a quarterback.
Yeah, I like that. We like that a lot.